Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Jug Show. It's great to be back. I decided to look good for the rest of y'all by having a nice haircut, get a nice shave, and just getting ready for what we're talking about today. So, here's what we're doing. Here's what we're doing. It's finally starting. We're finally having a start. One World Under Doom has officially kicked off this week, starting in Fantastic Four 28. After all the teasing that we've had in Avengers, after we had in Storm, we're finally hitting the ground and we're hitting it running for One World Under Doom. So, the reason why Fantastic Four 28 is actually really good at starting what is actually going to happen in it, because unlike what we saw in Storm or the Avengers, we really see how cunning and dangerous Doom is actually in this comic. In Avengers, there was like he was offering a proposition, and he was trying to get them to see things his way. He was trying to just use honeyed words. And in Storm, he was trying to be charming. He was trying to, he was trying to get her on his side. But now, all forms of negotiations are done. In the next Storm, they're clearly going to he's actually clearly going to be fighting her, and I doubt we're going to get like a proper winner. For starters, he's got to be doing this event, and second of all, Storm's still new to her powers, like Doom. This is for like part of me is wondering if he knew the Eternal Storm would actually happen, and he did this because he wanted a worthy opponent to test out his new powers, his new limits. So I'm going to put that on the side at the moment. That's just a personal theory. Do I think it's a good one? You know what? A little bit. Especially because of some things that he said in this book. So, we start the book with what Reed's been trying to do, and has been a bit of a big thing in this particular run. Like, this is his particular point in the story. He's trying to get a better understanding of magic. This is something he's always struggled with. And, well, he's never really been getting any better at it. The problem is that he can't view it as, because magic is definitely a lot trickier than science. Science is linear. It has the rights, it has the wrong, it has the equation, it has the pathway to get there. Magic is about emotions, it's about strength, it's about understanding on higher levels, and all these different kinds of things, and how everything works in levels that Reed actually can't comprehend because it just doesn't make sense to him. So he's struggling to understand what's happening with Latveria. He's trying to get on Doom's level when it comes to magic, but he's not anywhere close. So Sue comes in and she just decides, why don't we try talking with somebody that's both a scientist and works with magic? Black Knight, aka Dane Whitman, he actually wouldn't be my first choice. If I actually had to choose somebody to teach Reed and quite possibly Valeria magic, it would actually be this character, Kana. We saw her introduced during Mark Waid's Doctor Strange book, and she's actually one of my favorite characters, and she's actually even been in a Strange Academy. And one of the reasons I think she's very interesting is that she found something that's essentially the cross between science and magic. So bringing that into Reed's life, so Kana describes herself as an arcanologist, and she studies technomancy. So she uses magical items and magical effects to power technology and science. So I think her being a part of a Fantastic Four story could actually end up being something really cool and interesting. I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. She hasn't been seen since Strange Academy. But I really hope Ryan at least knows about her, thinks about maybe trying to bring her in for it, because I really think she could be a fascinating addition. So, one of the reasons why I actually think this good book is actually really good is it's not like, while it's about Reed's education into magic, it's trying to help him understand, it's actually centered around Susan. So, Susan being an archaeologist is still fairly new and recent and hasn't been totally explored. But this book does a good job at showing how she sees things through archaeology, like what she's learned, how she knows this, and how she views the science and how she views people. And Susan has always been one of the more empathetic characters of the Fantastic Four. Like, she tries and feels for people, she tries to help them, she tries to understand them. That's always been more of her thing. So the idea that she can help, she studies archaeology, she tries to get into minds, she tries to understand other people that live a long time ago, but she can actually understand them to a very core point about why they do things, about why they built things. She actually helps locate what was called the Fated Blade, what the blade that they're actually after. So it actually shows how she can benefit. It's a new addition to a characterization, and it's one that I hope continues, because we've seen Reed be a scientist, a physicist, for God knows how long. We know how much Johnny works with engines. You know, Ben is things like being a pilot. In fact, that was even put more forward in this run, more than probably so many other books, because Ryan actually knew that to be a test pilot and an astronaut, you can't just be some guy that walks in and knows how to fly a plane. To do that, you actually have to know all forms of engineering, some forms of physics, meteorology. Ben's actually a lot more intelligent, because that's the thing about the Fantastic Four. They're all geniuses. They all know how to build things. They know sciences. And that's why the idea of Johnny or Ben being idiots is actually not true. They're just not the smartest of the Fantastic Four. But even the dumbest person in a room full of geniuses is still a genius to be in that room. That's the Fantastic Four. So this new thing with Susan, and it's really showing her own skill levels and her own new attribute to bring to the Fantastic Four. It's almost even a little bit like a detective. The way she talks, saying things like, you have to understand why people would do the things they did. That's all she tries to do. She tries to help people, and she tries to, as she says here, applied empathy. Archaeology is discovery, but it's also applied empathy. This is why it is perfect for her. She's the one that tries to help the other three with what happened. Johnny might have actually. Johnny might. Never mind. We're going to skip that part. But Susan is one of the most empathetic characters. She tries and builds connections with people. She's the one that takes other people's pains and feelings and emotions onto herself, and tries to help. That's what she's always done. She's been the one that everyone talks to. It's one of the reasons why the fact she's getting more focus in this run is so good. So using this and showing showing the reader that she can do this is definitely a good spotlight on Sue, especially with the fact she has an inner monologue. I'm really hoping that with the recently released Fantastic Four fanfare, well, not released, announced, that we're going to get a Sue story, probably written by maybe James Robinson, or maybe even a brand new writer. And honestly, my fingers are crossed for e-viewing. I would love to see e-viewing's perception of Sue, because, like I said, Sue's an empathetic character, and e-viewing is really good at writing emotions. So that would be a very good fit. So now we've spoken about Susan, and that's something I really wanted to do for this video. But the big part of this comic, this issue, is Doom. So we spend most of the time thinking that with the involvement of Doom is just simply the idea of trying to stop him. So we're going to Dane. He tells us about the Fated Blade, and he tells us a way that it could lead into get into Latveria, which has been shielded for a long time, for 6 months now. After he became Sorcerer Supreme, he cut himself off from the rest of the world. That was also a main point in issue 25. It wasn't just the idea of keeping people out. People that tried were sent back in time, which caused differences. And we met Angelica, and we all had a good cry. Poor Johnny. He didn't deserve to lose Angelica. So, the reason why this comic shows Doom at his most cunning and his most ruthless, with the ultimate revelation that he was manipulating Reed and Sue as Dane Whitman just so he could find the Fated Blade and destroy it. The Fated Blade was designed by all these astral beings that are dedicated to protect Earth, but they couldn't beat Doom because Doom was now a threat. So these beings are trying to stop him, but they couldn't. So they build the Fated Blade, and Doom knows that can be a threat, but he can't find it. So what's really dangerous is the fact that Doom has now actually acknowledged something he's actually acknowledged a shortcoming, and he overcame it. So he's learning. He's getting better. And he even probably did this to get a sense of satisfaction for beating Reed and Sue. He tricked them, and he found the only thing that could stop him. I actually didn't see it coming. I don't know how I didn't see it coming. It seems so obvious. Like, the best plot twists are the ones that seem the most obvious, but you just miss them completely. Like, I was wondering what the deal was going to be with the Fated Blade because it was so odd. Like, we've seen writers come up with random swords before for something, but this one was a complete one-off. So the ending of the book is showing that after barely surviving an attempt to kill him by Doom, that Doom's now taken over everything. Doom wasn't just waiting in that area. He wasn't just planning. He finished his planning. He was just waiting for the right moment. Everything he was doing was to prepare for the port. Like, when he built the field, that wasn't his plan, and that 6 months wasn't the planning phase. He was working. He was doing what he wanted to do. He was enacting his already made plan. This is like Ozymandias thing from Watchmen.
Not a comic book villain. Do you seriously think I'd explain my masterstroke to you if there were even the slightest possibility you could affect the outcome? I triggered it 35 minutes ago.
So Ryan's pulling that one. He's really trying to make Doom a threat. He's trying to make him. No, he's not even trying. He's doing. He is bringing forward Doom's most ruthless and dangerous aspects. He's making him feel like a threat. Probably more than Jed did, more than Murewa did. Doom is genuinely terrifying in this. In the other books, when it came to the Fantastic Four, there was a sense of humor. There was a sense of fun with it. In both issue 7, in the dinosaur issues, Doom was like, he was a villain, he was a threat, but there was a sense of jovialness to it. You know, I mean, we're doing it with dinosaurs. We're having a good time. We're watching all these cool moments with Doom. We're having a good time. Oh my god, he's actually going to manage to kill Reed and Sue. I don't know if I'm having a good time anymore. So I'm genuinely curious because, like I said in a previous video, Ryan gets Doom. Like, he is probably the most dangerous villain in Marvel. He has ways of gaining the powers of higher. He has gained the powers of higher beings. He's beaten heroes before. He has done things. He is literally He's the central villain of all of it. He is the villain of Marvel. So this is really showing just how dangerous and skilled he actually is, and just how out of their depth Reed and Sue are on this. See, normally Susan's force fields are actually more powerful. But more powerful. It's not even just the idea of it being powerful. Normally, she would be able to penetrate another person's force field via magic. Like, she's done that with against Agatha Harkness before, and I think it was Morgan Le Fay. She's actually pierced the force field and opened up a door. So the fact she can't pull that off, because this is the power of the Sorcerer Supreme, not just the Sorcerer Supreme, but also in the astral realm. Doom knows his strengths, and he clearly knows his weaknesses. And so he's planned ahead. and now he's more dangerous than ever. This is even more like it's even more dangerous than he's probably is even more dangerous than he was in Secret Wars. Because in Secret Wars, he did not intend for Reed to show up again. He was so shocked that Reed showed up again. He was angry. He did not have a contingency plan. But now it seems like everything that the other heroes could throw at him, he's probably got a plan for. Like I said, he probably did actually plan on of Storm actually becoming the Eternal Storm. This is Doom at his most dangerous. And it seems like the last thing that could genuinely stop him, something made by higher beings, is gone. So we have no idea how we're going to stop Doom. So he's in charge now. Doom has won. Doom has beaten Reed and Sue. They had to just retreat to survive, and now he's taken over the world. Doom now rules the world. There's no big lead up. There's no big battle to stop him. He's won. He has the control now. So where's that going to lead? I don't know. I've made my theories. Now we're going to see if they come to fruition next month and when they release One World Under Doom. I'm really looking forward to that. This shows just how dangerous he is. He is adept at technology. He is adept with magic. He clearly has control of the Sorcerer Supreme's power now. He knows what he can do. So now it's going to take all the supers. And I'm really looking forward to seeing that battle. Even if there is a battle. Because I don't think this is going to come down to one big massive brawl and Reed learning magic and becoming a sorcerer. He is learning magic. He finally casts a proper spell. So he's clearly now going to actually get some level of understanding. I don't think he's going to be able to beat Doom with magic. I don't even know if he's going to be the one that beats Doom. I don't know if it's going to be Steven. I don't know if it's going to be Sue. A theory I do have that it could actually be the four Fantastic Four kids. Like, I want to believe that there's something that's going to lead up for them. There's got to be something in the cards for them after this. Yeah, jeez. I mean, come on. They've been around for so long now. This Doom terrified me. This book is a testament to how good Ryan actually is. Because like I said, he's done a lot of jovial stuff. But now, Ryan's not laughing anymore. He's not having... Actually, he probably is having fun now. He probably is still having fun. But, all the fun stuff's done. All the goofiness, gone. This is scary Ryan. And he can get very scary. This was very scary. We were literally watching Susan and Reed being crushed to death. He's going to write a Doom that's going to be very dangerous. This isn't just your villain of the week. This is a guy that's probably going to get away with killing a few people now. I am really, really excited. This has set up a very good event. I wholeheartedly trust Ryan in both One World Under Doom and the Fantastic Four. We're already seeing the fact that the Fantastic Four are going to start losing their powers. I don't know if Ryan is actually going to give them back by the end. Or if... What was I thinking? Like I'm really thinking that he's going to have the F4 lose type of scenario. And someone else is going to have to save them. This is why I'm thinking there's going to be a Franklin, Valeria, Joe, and Nikki type of hero moment. I cannot predict for the life of me what Ryan's going to do. And you know what? I'm happy about that. Because so many events lately, you've been able to predict what's actually going to happen, aside from maybe a plot twist here or a big moment there. Like, instead of, you can predict general details, you can't get the finer. This one, I don't even know what kind of general detail is going to happen. I can't figure it out. Ryan has me completely on the edge of my seat. I cannot, you cannot imagine what goes through Ryan's head because, he's smarter than me. I don't know if he can get through your head. If he's getting into your, like, if you're getting into his head, go for you. But I'm not as smart as Ryan North. He's definitely figuring out things that I cannot even fathom. I didn't know that Earth was actually technically the combination of two planets. God, that was fun to learn. But we're dealing with a writer that's going to have us on the edge of our seats. If we think he's going to go right, he's going to go left. I don't think I can't remember the last time I've actually been this excited for an event. And it's going to be great. This was a great lead-in issue. It shows us just how much of a threat Doom actually is. We had a good spotlight moment for Sue, which she really, really deserves after 60 years of being the background character to the Fantastic Four, aside from like big power moments or like weird, like, oh god, really weird moments. This is going to be one hell of an event. I'm also looking forward to the tie-in issues. The writer of Strange Academy saying like we're going to explore maybe some sense of lore about Latveria, its old stories, its old folklore. That's going to be really cool. That's going to be fun. I don't know how I feel about the Doom guys. We have the Superior Avengers. That's going to be a weird one. I mean, we're getting back the son of Doom. What's his name again? Kristoff. We're getting back Kristoff. But it's just weird. Like, not only you got all these Latvians pretending to be Avengers, like it's a Dark Reign scenario, but they're taking the name of villains. Like, I have no idea what to expect from that, and I'm not sure if my interest is gonna. I'm not sure if I'm interested. I've never really been interested in Steve Fox's stuff, but we'll see what's gonna happen. I cannot predict anything. We have just seen a very ruthless Doom. We've seen the smartest member of the Fantastic Four and its most powerful member get played like a violin. So Doom's at the top of his game, and that's a very dangerous place for him to be for everyone else. So strap up your seatbelts, because we're in for one hell of a ride when One World Under Doom releases in February. Alright, so wrapping up. I actually believe that not only was this meant to spotlight Sue's gift of archaeology, but it might also be a bit of a prelude. This could be there could be something that's going to come up later on that Sue's going to need to use her skills here. That's probably going to help. It could also be why Ryan's getting rid of the powers of the Fantastic Four. They're going to have to rely on their base of skills. Johnny and Ben, when it comes to their when it comes to their piloting skills, their engine skills, they're going to have to bring that to the table. Susan, it's definitely going to show her more as an archaeologist and potentially as a fighter, that she's more than just the most powerful member of the team. Reed, I actually think is going to pick up a little bit more magic. So I think that's what's actually going to happen there. That's just a guess. That's all I can think of. So it's going to be one hell of an event because I think it's going to push the Fantastic Four. I think it's going to give other heroes some interesting spotlights, especially when it comes to the relationship with Doom. And Doom is at the peak of his power, and he's clearly the most dangerous villain in Marvel at the moment. And it's going to be one hell of a ride. And I have no idea where it's actually going to end. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know if Doom's going to die. I don't know if Reed's going to die. I don't know if Squirrel Girl's going to save the day. That's possibly a maybe. But it's going to be fun. So, thanks for tuning in. If you liked today's episode, leave a like and subscribe. And if you didn't like it, well, too bad. It's my show. I'm done. Leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to talk about anything, please leave a comment. I always enjoy seeing what everybody thinks. So, once again, thanks for tuning in. Bye!